paper.
What's going on, people? Pixelated Paper Cuts back here again. What? Ah, shit. Sorry about that. So I've come a long way over the last few months.
Bullshit.
And I've just recently clocked 100 subscribers. So I'm very, very grateful to each and every one of yous out there. Thanks very much.
Hooray! People are paying attention to me.
Big juicy watermelons to all you awesome subscribers out there. I really appreciate each and every last one of yous. It really means a lot to know that there's so many people out there that are checking out my vids regularly and watching them all the way to the end. So I hope you find them as entertaining as much as I try and make them so. With this video though, I'm going to be a little bit more serious. I'm going to get straight to the point and not clown around so much, unlike previous videos.
You do anything like a normal person.
So as the title says, this video is about how to title your game and why the graphic design is very important. There's so many games out there nowadays being released at a frequency that's never been seen before. Us indie devs are flooding the market with new releases every day. It's making it harder and harder for each and every title to get noticed out there. Not that that's a bad thing. To me, that's a good thing. To see so many interesting products out there pushing the boundaries of artistic creativity and not sticking to the normal run-of-the-mill game types that we've all seen before. I believe high competition forces the developers to put in extra effort to release better products in the end, which is good for everyone. So how do you title your game to stand out from all the other games that are out there right now? Well, it's pretty simple really. Stick around and find out. So what is your game about? What do you do in your game? What's the story? What's the category? What genre does it fit in? How does it tell a person looking through titles what your game is all about from a few words, at a glance at the title's artwork, etc.? Is your title thought-provoking? Is your title original and unexpected? Is it a catchy title? Basically, does the title and its art want to make the potential customer want to learn and inquire more about it? My game's about an Australian magpie that goes out there on hit missions, swooping and pooping on targets. Basically, people out there in the community in Melbourne that deserve to be swooped and pooped on. So the best title for my game to tell a potential buyer what it's all about at a glance is...
Hey Paper Cuts, what's going on here?
The fuck? How the fuck did you get in here? I thought that Borg VPN firewall that I just installed stopped you pesky intruders from getting in.
Oh mate, I just used my new spell I created in my own world.
Oh yeah? And what spell's that?
I can teleport wherever I want now. So I thought I'd drop by your place and see what you're up to.
Drop by another time, mate. I'm in the middle of telling our viewers how to title their game and was literally about to reveal the title of my game.
Oh yeah? Well, I can help with that.
Yeah,
I
see,
titled my
that.
game Full Moon because...
You. Sorry about that. So yeah, anyways, as I was saying, your game's title is very important. Obviously, it's just a few words to describe what your game's all about, to suit its theme, to add artistic merit, to provoke thought, to catch your eye or have it stick in your head, or at the very least give the viewer a clue about what the main premise is in a nutshell, or have it look and sound so original and unfamiliar that the viewer can't help to want to know more about it. So on that note, don't just stick with the first title that pops in your head and reveal it right away. Write down every idea and keep that list with you. Silly or good ideas, write them all down. So as you progress with your development, inevitable feature or scope creep may change or evolve what your game's going to be all about. So as you go, just add and subtract to your list. Discuss ideas with your family or friends, other developers, your social media friends, whoever's out there that you can trust to give you honest and constructive criticism, good or bad. So with my game's title, it took shape over time. As the game's core ideas started to gather and the game started to be built and take shape, the title evolved. I discussed some ideas with my friends and eventually came up with the title Swoop.
Hey, I'm back! I suddenly just got teleported back to my own games world.
Yeah, that was me. I was and still am in the middle of presenting my new video.
About what to title your game, right?
Yeah.
I can help with that. See, my world is called Full Moon. It was called that because... Hey, let me out! Oh, what the fuck? Get me out!
Sorry about that. I think I'm going to keep him in here until a bit later, I think. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the importance of your game's title. But not only is the title important, the title's artwork, or the box art, is just as, if not more important. Now your game will most likely not be released in a box or a case, but let's just call that little thumbnail on Steam or GOG or whatever platform you're releasing it on, let's just call it the box art to stay true to the roots of a commercially released game, independent or not. Good box art is very, very important. You're scrolling through Steam, GOG, Xbox Marketplace, whatever, looking for the next game you want to play. You click on the genre that you're most in the mood for to narrow the options down. But there's still dozens, if not hundreds of titles to choose from. Go and have a look once this video is finished. What stands out to you? The associated pictures, minimalistic design titles, or very busy box art with loads of information just crammed into a tiny thumbnail? It could be a combination of a lot of things. This is where a professional graphic designer comes in handy. A professional artist, a designer who knows how to create an image, catch the eye and convey a message in the form of a picture with a small amount of words. Now wait and just hear me out. I am aware that a lot of you are solo developers or members of a small development team, and you probably design, create and implement all of your game's art and graphics all by yourselves or with your team. So you think, I'll just do the box art and the title art all by myself. I don't need to pay anyone else when I've already designed and drawn an entire game's worth of backgrounds and characters and whatnot.
You be nice.
If you've got the right artistic skills and you know how to design and lay it all out in that small image all by yourselves, then cool, do it. But be aware this does come at a risk if you don't have the right training and the fundamentals of graphic design. For example, if your game is a 2D platformer, a screenshot of your character with one of your level's backgrounds isn't going to attract attention. A poor choice of pictures on a background with incorrect color matching, a font that doesn't fit or it's hard to read, and all of the above laid out in a frame incorrectly will present your game to look like every other 2D platformer with a poorly implemented title design and be dismissed quickly by anyone who sees it. Same goes for a top-down RPG or a third or first-person shooter, whatever it is. Just repeating the game's art again in the main thumbnail for your box art is most likely not going to attract attention and may be received negatively. There are so many games out there that all look like each other in their category at first glance. I know your game is different from the rest, and it is an original idea, and it is more fun to play than the others. But how do you tell that to someone who doesn't know who you are or hasn't heard of your game and will just judge a screenshot as just another such and such clone? So it is very important that your box art or your title art is going to stand out from every other game out there, and a professional graphic designer can do just that. As I said, poorly designed box art and poorly designed game title thumbnails will have an effect on how successful your game could be. A lot of your potential customers in future aren't going to be your devlog followers. They don't follow you on Twitter or MySpace. So your box art has got to look really good upon release. It's got to convince a total stranger that they aren't going to be wasting their money and time on something that looks half-assed and amateur looking. Poorly designed and presented box art will lose you sales.
You're just out for sex! You're just out for money!
People will judge the entirety of your game at a glance if they've never seen it before. If your box art and the associated screenshots and the preview vids look shit, people will instantly think the whole game is shit when your game is actually a masterpiece. So professional graphic design is very important. A lot of your sales are going to come from random people scrolling through whatever platform your game's on, just scrolling around, browsing, looking at the game's thumbnail artwork. Sales will be made sometimes by simply an interesting or pretty looking picture, as it'll entice your customer to want to click on it and read the reviews and the synopsis and whatnot. These pieces of art, box art, thumbnails that are being designed to advertise your game are exactly that, advertisements. So it is very important to have good art to advertise your game. So if you're not a professional graphic designer, just hire one. It'll pay for itself in the long run with more copies of your game being sold. The same pic that's used for your box art or your thumbnail or a variation of it can also be used in media kits or promo pictures to send to people who might be featuring you in their website or in their article or on their streaming channel or whatever. So it's a winning strategy overall. So maybe you have a mate or a family member who has studied or is self-taught in graphic design. Ask to see their portfolio or show you what work they've done in the past. If you don't know anyone, just Google around for someone that's in your price range and has a decent reputation. Even look at other indie games as box art that you like the look of. Check out the game's credits, see who designed the art. Contact them, inquire about their fees. It doesn't hurt to ask. Also Twitter, if you have a presence on there, is a good place to start too. I often see lots of people with graphic designer or artists with commission work open or available in their bio. For me, luckily I have a mate that makes a living as a graphic designer. He's worked with brands such as Dakine and Obese Records and skate companies such as Blind and Tony Hawk. He's been designing album covers and skateboard graphics and endless lists of promotional material for many brands for at least the last 20 years. So I'm very fortunate to have him on my side to design the game's box art that'll suit its theme perfectly.
Hey, I'm back!
Thought I had you locked in this bag. I was wondering why you went so quiet. I thought I killed you or something.
What? Ha, no, I'm the god of death or something. I can do whatever I want. You think a bag can't hold me?
So how'd you get back here and interrupt my title reveal yet again?
Oh, I just control alt delete in myself and then respawn myself back in my world. And teleport here again with my magic.
Okay, great. So what do you want exactly?
I want to help you with your video and tell you about my world.
Okay, what if I have a pop-up screen to show the viewer where they can learn about your world?
Yeah, I guess that will work.
And I add a link in the vid's description so they can check it out after this video.
Yeah, I guess that.
So... Alright, that's the last of him, I hope, but a promise is a promise. He'll be back if I don't keep up my end of the deal. So you better check out Nubia's world in the game Full Moon after this video's over. His game actually looks awesome and his devlogs are hilarious. It's well worth your time to subscribe to his channel and check out his work. The link's in the description below. So anyways, back to my mate's design work, but stay with me as I have a few more very helpful tips for you. As I was saying, it's very important to find the right person for your job and for your budget. It could be less than a couple of hundred and maybe up to a couple of thousand depending on the artist's credentials, the scope of the work that you want them to undertake, and the time that you want them to do it in. Whether you want an entire web page designed with lots of interesting features and pictures and whatnot, suitable for media kits and press releases and you wanted it done yesterday, or you just need a single thumbnail and the rest of the pictures are from screenshots of your game, and you're giving them a few months to take their time and just do the cover art picture and that's it. The price can vary a lot based on the above mentioned. So on that note, make sure you discuss the terms thoroughly too. Make sure you research their credentials and reputation and keep handy an email trail in case the situation gets messy. Ask if they can provide a commercial invoice detailing the agreed scope of works with all their registered business details on it before you pay them the deposit to start the work. But more on that issue in a moment. So if you haven't noticed already, my game's title is Swooping Justice. How rad is this cover art piece? This is what you get from a professional graphic designer. As you've been watching this time-lapse footage, you can see a lot of work over many hours goes into creating and experimenting and laying out the art to achieve a fantastic end result. Now to quickly address the elephant in the room for those that notice. Yep, that's a cop being swooped by the magpie that you play as. In my game, this particular police officer is a very bad man. And yes, not all cops are bad, a lot of them are decent human beings, so please calm your farm. But this cop in particular is not a good human being, and that's why he's a target in one of the game's levels. The game's premise in a nutshell is that you play as an Australian magpie, and level by level you must perform tasks or defeat an enemy as they are up to no good. Inconsiderate parking inspectors, as you've seen a lot in previous episodes. Also abusive public transport ticket inspectors, bullying pig police officers, corrupt politicians, scooter and rollerblade kids at skate parks, cyclists who don't stay in the cycling lane, drop bears attacking tourists, the list goes on. But I'll go into further details about all the game's characters and future episodes as I develop this game. So make sure you subscribe for more and drop a like if you haven't already. Cheers. So my game's box art cover picture will suit the game's premise nicely. I'm really happy with it, as I knew Mexi, aka John, would do a fantastic job on it, based on his reputation and previous work that he's done for me and many others over the many years, so thanks mate. At a glance, the title and its font says what the game is about right away. It tells you that the magpie is the main character that you play as. It tells you that it's a fun and humorous kind of game where you swoop and bring forth justice on the wrongdoers. So for now, I'm just going to get Mexi here just to do the cover up. I might hire him again later, but for now the game is still in its very early stages of development. So this will do to get it up on the Steam store for now to make it wishlistable. Links in the description below if you've got Steam and you'd like to go and wishlist that now. Cheers. Now I can't reveal what he charged me for this in the end, as it's what we call mates rates. But for something like this with anyone else that I haven't known for years, I'll probably pay about
$1 million
for something like this. For it to be created, designed, laid out and fully coloured within a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
For this price mentioned, I'd also expect a couple of other things, like time-lapse footage and source material to ensure that they show evidence that they put a lot of effort into the project. If you don't trust them and know them personally, that is. If you can find cheaper on Fiverr or whatever, great, but ensure you do your research on the artists first. Ask them a lot of questions about how the transaction will take place. What exactly are they going to do for you, as mentioned previously in the video? Strike a precise deal, ask for a commercial invoice, detail everything. See how they respond. See if their emails are well presented, punctual and polite. You can tell a lot about a person and how they run their business based on how well presented they are in their emails and how well spoken and polite that they are. It's less risky though if they're local to get the exact result that you want, but being a local job, it'll probably be a bit more expensive. If the designer is overseas, it may be a little bit cheaper depending on where you and they are from. But if the job goes sour and they keep your money, or they don't deliver the result that you wanted or was agreed upon, or deliver the job at all, you'll be in a very difficult situation to try and get your deposit back. Which is why researching their reputation and credentials before you even inquire about the job is very important. Write in the comments below if you've ever hired a graphic designer off Fiverr or whatever, and if it worked out for you or not. Or are you self-taught and you just designed all the box art yourself? I'd love to hear your opinions on all the above mentioned in this video. Also, if you're a new subscriber, don't be shy, just say g'day. Let me know what you're working on yourself or what you're going to be working on in the future. Good luck out there everyone with your project. I wish you a happy and successful game development for all the viewers that have watched this far. Cheers.